For over 150 years, public libraries have formed a vital part of community life here in Wales. They have provided a safe place to learn, connect, and engage in local activities.
It goes right across the spectrum, a facility which is for everyone.
I just think we'd be lost without it. Personally, in my own life, I've found it very useful when I've had periods of depression, etc.
Today, the future of public libraries hang in a balance. Nearly 30 public libraries are set to be closed before the end of the year. The Welsh Government and the local councils say they have no choice because their budgets have been cut. The residents, however, feel their representatives are not being transparent with them.
Just a step backwards. We're just going back into barbarism, that's all.
And for them to target the libraries and nursery education seemed to me complete insanity. Just to
sort of casually decide, as they did in January, that, oh well, we'll close Rhydyfelin Library, we'll save ourselves a few quid. It was a Philistine decision and it had to be challenged.
Save our libraries! Save our libraries! Save our libraries!
Wales is acknowledged all over the world for its rich history. It's a history that is steeped in tradition, achievement, and hard work. Coal mining and trade forms a fundamental part of that history. The workers in the coal mines, which transformed Wales into an industrial nation, however, insisted on investing heavily in education. Welsh novelist and renowned history author Catherine Collier says they did it all for their children.
I think that the miners was always a very dirty, very dangerous job. And I think most of the old-style miners wanted something better for their children. And this is why they built institutes, why they charge a penny a week to join the union. They put those pennies together. They bought libraries for the miners' institutes. I think they were incredibly well used. And the miners in the institute, they not only set up libraries, they organised lectures, they prized education. And I don't think it's any coincidence that the first training colleges were built in Wales, in Swansea, Cardiff, Aberystwyth, and for years one of Wales's biggest exports was teachers, simply because miners wanted better for their children.
Today, the Welsh Government still maintains that libraries play a fundamental political, social, economic, and educational role in the well-being of the people in Wales. Over 320 public library service points operate in Wales today. The law requires the 22 local authorities in Wales to provide a comprehensive and efficient library service to the people. In order for local authorities to provide these services for libraries, they need money. These monies come from the Welsh Government. The Welsh Government, however, requires money from the UK Government all the way in Westminster. This is where the issues come up. Dr. Tom Entwistle is from the Cardiff Business School, and he provides us some clarity.
The story here goes back to the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, which meant that the UK central government stepped in to sustain and maintain the banking industry particularly, and as it did that, it increased its own budget deficit. So the consequence of the financial and economic crisis that started in 2007-2008 was a dramatic worsening in the budgetary position of the UK central government. And from our perspective, the key thing, of course, is that if the UK central government is trying to cut its budget as a product of that financial crisis, those cuts are then passed down the line to the Welsh Government, which in turn passes the parcel down to local government, and that's where we end up in the position that we have now. Well, the difficulty for libraries is that they fall into one of these areas of local government expenditure where local governments actually have more flexibility. And so whether a local authority operates a particular library in a particular community is a matter for local discretion.
But what does local discretion mean? How does this discretion affect the running of libraries within the 22 councils in Wales? The town of Rhydyfelin is a small suburb located south of Pontypridd in Taff, the second largest county borough in Wales. It has a population of over 9,000 people. Its 52-year-old library is one of 14 that is set to be closed by the County Borough Council. The Rhydyfelin Library was established in 1962. Over the course of the years, its function has evolved. It has become more than a library for the people in this community. Mrs. Mary Morris is a retired librarian. She spent 20 years of her working life in this library.
Well, what it means to the people is that whatever they need to find out, they can go to the library to find it. They don't have to get on public transport. They can walk to the library. It's the whole spectrum of the community can enjoy the libraries, and it's a pleasure to see people coming in there, and the greatest pleasure I have is seeing children when they were toddlers themselves come to the library and now bringing their own children.
The library covers over 250 square meters of floor area. It was refurbished 6 years ago at a cost of over £100,000 as part of the Community Learning Libraries Capital Grant Programme of the Welsh Government. Over 100 people use it daily.
Our Rhydyfelin Library is quite central to a lot of the activities that go on in the area. It has a community room which is used for adult education courses, as well as various groups meet there, such as the knitting group. It also provides a range of books and resources and facilities that are easily accessible to the people in the area. So there's a computer suite that people can use if they need to do homework, if they're students, or in relation to claiming their unemployment benefits if they need to log on online, as well as research in relation to jobs.
Despite the pivotal role the library plays in the life of this community, the County Borough Council plans to close it down. After 2 rounds of consultation, the council has announced that the library will be closed on the 31st of May. The residents, however, feel something is not right.
We can only conclude that this decision was made not on any rational basis, but Rhydyfelin Ward is a Labour ward, rock solid. You could put a red rose, you could put a Labour Party badge on a donkey and people would vote for it here, they really would. But in Pontypridd, the swings, it goes between different councillors. So it's politics, basically. We believe, because we have no evidence at all to the contrary, that the council has changed the decision, swapped the decision to close Rhydyfelin and Pontypridd because of the political cost of letting Pontypridd go and losing votes and losing seats.
There has to be a logical, reasoned argument for what you're doing. And if the local government have not done their job properly and there are holes in that argument, we have to point them out.
When you get a library being used, which is the 11th most popular library in the borough, how on earth can you advocate closing that and keeping open the 22nd and 23rd most used library in the borough? It just doesn't make sense.
The residents of Rhydyfelin, like many others across Wales, have come together to fight. They have gone to the courts and are seeking a judicial review on their case. They are also going on a protest march to the National Assembly of Wales.
Children! Educate the children! Educate the children!
Expensive!
Don't cut libraries!
Cut tax loopholes! Cut billionaires!
Don't cut libraries!
According to the 2012 Programme for International Students Assessment, almost 1 in 5 Welsh students do not achieve the level of proficiency at which students begin to actively participate in life. So if libraries help in the education and well-being of students, why close them down?
We in the National Assembly for Wales, we've discussed the issue of libraries on many occasions and how important they are to life for our communities. But unfortunately there's a disconnect between the rhetoric we hear in the Assembly and what's actually happening on the ground and is being implemented by the councils.
I don't have any say over the decision-making process itself, and I hope the judicial review is successful, and I hope there is another process where there can be a proper consultation over the library.
The people of Rhydyfelin have spoken. They have exercised their democratic right and are demanding that their library be kept open. The members of the National Assembly of Wales have also spoken. They say they believe in education. Their actions, however, say something completely different. In a few weeks, a decision will be made concerning this situation, the closure of the Rhydyfelin Library. No matter what decision is made, should this library be closed, a clear message will be sent for generations to come. Does the National Assembly of Wales truly believe in education?